Royal souvenirs from generations ago tell a story of a family steeped in tradition and privilege. It's an institution that represents Britain and yet stands apart from the British people. This mug from the reign of Queen Victoria is the earliest royal souvenir owned by lifelong collector Robert Opie. He says the royal souvenirs themselves have had a history almost as proper as the monarchy itself.
I think the story of the wedding souvenirs, and indeed royal souvenirs in general, is that they maintain very much a traditional structure. We've got mugs and plates and jugs, we've got tins which often contain chocolates or biscuits, we've got the flags, we've got all kinds of royal souvenirs which kind of capture the moment. So there's very much a continuity in the style that maintains throughout that story.
But he says that story is changing. At his collector's museum, Opie has documented a rapid liberalisation of British culture and a new style of royal souvenir. He says the souvenirs from Charles and Diana's wedding marked a changing point.
Certainly for 1981 with Charles and Di, the latest thing was a tea towel, and there are quite a few different examples. And the other thing for that particular moment was the annoying Rubik's Cube, which only children seem to be able to do. And that was the latest innovation, so of course they did a royal one for that.
And it's not just the branding of the royal family that's moved forward. Publicist Richard Fitzwilliams, an expert on the royal family, says the institution itself is adapting.
I think the royal family alters from time to time and as a result moves abreast of the times.
Diana was only 20 years old when she married Prince Charles. Up until their wedding day, she referred to the prince as Sir, and even her sexual history was a topic of public concern. He says this year's bride is another story altogether. Catherine is 29 years old. She has a university degree, and her and William have lived together on and off for the past 10 years. This image of her in a sheer dress has caused quite a stir, but not a controversy. It's hard to imagine Diana dressed the same way. Fitzwilliams says the different brides reflect a changing Britain.
The relationship between William and Catherine is a very modern relationship. What is particularly significant is that this is the first time that the heir to the throne of Britain can actually choose his bride regardless of class.
The royal family, he says, is breaking down the barriers between itself and the British public.
I would say William and Catherine are the perfect team to take the monarchy into the new century, because there's no doubt they are so responsive to public feeling, they are tremendously popular, and you can see in the walkabouts and the official duties they performed so far how at ease they are with people.
Back at collector Opie's museum, he says the popularization of the royal family can be seen in this year's royal wedding souvenirs.
At the moment, I'm seeing more souvenirs that have a little bit of an edge in terms of their a feeling of an alternative monarchy. So it's a little bit more edgy in the way it's portrayed.
And if these souvenirs reflect 2011, it's a wonder what will come next. But for now, there's still a classic Kate Middleton replica doll. She's flying the flag for tradition in the souvenir cabinet, in a sign that some things don't change quite so fast after all. Selah Hennessy for VOA News, London.